Good afternoon. My name is Tiffanie Harrison. I am the current Vice President of the Round Rock ISD School Board, and I'm running for Round Rock ISD Trustee Place 6. And I want to thank you, Amy, for meeting me and for meeting me outside. I'm really COVID cautious, so I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I like to be respectful of everyone's decisions regarding COVID and how they're comfortable.
Thank you.
So I am Amy Weir. I am the Place 5 trustee for Round Rock Independent School District and the current board secretary. And we're here today to talk about local control, because that's really what this election is going to be about. And it's what school boards should be about.
Absolutely. Our district is large, our district is diverse, and it's really important that as elected officials in our district, in our area, we are hearing our constituents and making decisions based on our needs here, and not some other outside entity controlling our school district. We've had to make some decisions under the influence of outside of local control. The TEA, we have some present colleagues and some people that are running for school board now that would like to see TEA enforce control in our school district, and that's just not what's best for Round Rock ISD.
Local control there's so many levels to it, right? And we've seen in North Texas where money from outside of a school district can really come in and influence an election and take away that voice of the people that are actually living in that district, whose kids are going to school in that district, and who really should be the ones having a say. And it'll be interesting to see in the next few weeks, once the campaign finance reports come out, how much money is coming into Round Rock ISD from outside of our borders. And we are all of Round Rock basically and Northwest Austin. And those are the parents, those are the people, those are the community members and taxpayers that we need to be listening to. What we don't need is TEA coming in and telling us what we should be doing in our district. They should not be the ones telling us on a state level what is appropriate for our families and our students. That's why we're elected. That's the whole reason of having a school board. It's nonpartisan for a reason, and it's all about local control. And all of the same people who would not want the federal government coming in and telling the state government what to do are exactly the people that are now having the state tell us what to do. And that is really harmful for our students, for our families, for our teachers. It's so much stress on our district.
Absolutely. One thing that I want to note is school board is nonpartisan, and children are not red or blue. And we have our own political beliefs, our own perhaps partisan beliefs, but it's really important to have a school board that can work together. You don't want an all conservative school board or all liberal school board. It's good to have a mix, especially when we are centering the needs of students and educators. We should be able to come to a consensus. Even between Amy and I personally, we have some different political beliefs, but we can work well together in the best interest of students. And so I really think that during this election, when you hear people identifying themselves as their partisan beliefs, understand that that could absolutely be harmful to our students. And I think that there will be the right mix of diverse thought, perspective, opinions, experiences that can bring unity to our district.
One thing, and I've said it, I know, to numerous people in the community, but as soon as you start talking about your political affiliation as your lead and how conservative you are or how liberal you are, no matter what, if you start with your political affiliation, you're already not talking about students. You're already not talking about teachers and schools. You are beholden at that point to people outside of our district.
Right.
And if they tell you to say vote against a business that's been in Round Rock for 30 years and not support a local business that is asking to be a partner with the school district to benefit our students, because an outside entity of a certain political persuasion is telling you vote no, then you're harming our district. You're actively harming our district. It should be about what is best for our students and our parents. And I keep saying that, but a lot of people seem to have forgotten that.
Absolutely.
Especially this election season, it seems like.
Yeah, and I think that that's a very important cautionary tell. And I think that it's important to research candidates. We had candidates last election cycle that presented themselves as very moderate, and now there's a lot of extremism in their views and what's happening on our school board. And that is a distraction. That's not good for students. You know, we have to look at every decision that comes up using evidence, using reason, and not using partisan political beliefs.
And, we saw that in the teacher survey. Teachers were surveyed, and the division on the board, and there were comments about all of us. The vast majority were not about, say, you and I, or even our president, Amber Feller. They were really directed at 2 particular board members, and people see that and they notice that, and we've got to be really careful this election cycle, because those 2 trustees, and Trustees Bone and Weston, they have a slate of 5 candidates, and they are pushing hard to have those 5 candidates on the board for a reason. And like I said, we'll find out where their money's coming from, but I suspect that most of their support is not coming from within Round Rock ISD.
Right.
And that they are working to take that local control, because you're right, they are trying to get us under conservatorship. They would like for TEA to run Round Rock ISD.
Right, and that's a problem. TEA doesn't know Round Rock ISD like Round Rock ISD knows Round Rock ISD, so that's deeply problematic. I would also encourage everyone to watch the CNN special, Deep in the Pockets of Texas, because some of that outside influence money is already in our district if you go back and look at campaign finance reports. And that's concerning. So I want to talk a little bit about conservatorship. We're under TEA monitorship, and just discuss a little bit about what that means and what are the implications of that.
And that was when I was board president, when we got the notice from TEA.
You have a little bird friend.
Yeah.
Hey, friend.
So we did get that notice from TEA. It was regarding an incident that happened with the previous board before you were elected, but while I was still on the board, and we were assigned a monitor. It did take them a while actually to get a monitor to come to our district. There was some hesitation, I believe, on the part of people that were asked to come to our district. There were people across the state that did not want to be involved with Round Rock ISD for very obvious reasons. For anybody who's watched a board meeting, I do appreciate Dr. Faltis coming and sitting through all of our meetings. He is just monitoring. He does not tell the board what to do. He does not. We have asked him for suggestions and his thoughts on things, but it is not his place to tell us how to vote or what to do. That would obviously change if we went under conservatorship. I know in talking to board members from other districts that have had a conservator can tell the board members exactly how to vote. And you can sit there and you can vote your conscience, and the conservator can sit there and say, nope, we're going to take that vote again. You will vote the other way. And you have to do it.
That's deeply concerning, because that's not local control. And I personally believe there are other interests at TEA. I believe that we're kind of at the precipice when it comes to public education. There are people that are within the system of public education that seek the degradation and the legitimacy of public education. The bird agrees.
I think the bird is upset.
Yeah, I'm upset too, bird. And so I think we're at a really pivotal moment where there's a lot at stake. I think that some of the people that are seeking to come into our district, get on our board, are beholden to outside interest, and not beholden to the students, the staff, and the community, parents, taxpayers.
Well, they don't even
Round
have,
Rock
some of them,
ISD.
the majority of them don't even have kids in our district. Either because they're not old enough, or they're homeschooling, or they've put them in private school, and none of them have been volunteers. You and I, you were a student and then you were a teacher, and I have been volunteering for this district for almost 2 decades.
Yeah.
We have invested a lot of ourselves. All of our teachers do. We should give a shout out to all of our teachers.
Absolutely.
Because all teachers give way more than what they're paid for, which is unfortunate. But we have people that are coming in that have no real connection to the district, that just want to come in and tell parents in Round Rock what their kids can read, what classes they can take, and they're beholden to other people from outside, and they're trying to get TEA to take us over.
So what does that say to your leadership if you want TEA to take over your leadership? That's concerning. There's been couple of hard years, and it's been hard in public education across the state and across the nation. There are some very extremist views that are trying to infiltrate our schools, and so I think that it's a moral imperative that we push back on that, because all students deserve to learn. And yes, learn your 1, 2, 3s and ABCs, but you should be able to learn in a physically, mentally, and emotionally safe environment. We know that strong school climates and cultures and safe school climates and cultures, they promote academic success
And safety.
And safety.
And safety. If students feel welcome and their mental health needs are being met, that's a safety issue.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So it is, and we're working on that.
We are. And Round Rock ISD has done a lot in that arena. There's been over $10 million invested in behavioral health. I served on the Safety and Security Task Force for a year and a half of my life. Many, many hours put into what started as just whether or not we were going to establish our own police department, but was quickly realized that it's so much deeper than that and so much broader than that, and that in order to take care of the whole student, we have to look at every aspect of their education when it comes to safety. So Round Rock ISD is committed to that. That's not to say that there can't be improvements that can be made, because there are improvements that need to be made. But I think that it's really important that people understand the critical nature of local control, and that people understand that if you have a candidate that's leading with their political beliefs, then that's a danger to our district.
And I could not agree more. You know, it needs to be about the students. We need to start every sentence with what our students know, what they can do, and what they need in order to grow and do what they can do.
Absolutely. Well, just a reminder, I'm Tiffanie Harrison. I'm running for Round Rock ISD Trustee Place 6, and I would deeply appreciate your vote. I covet your vote, and I want to thank you in advance for your vote.
And I'm Amy Weir, and I am seeking re-election as your Place 5 Round Rock ISD Trustee. And I also look forward to your vote. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to either of us, to any of the candidates. And please do your homework. Please do your homework. We're at the bottom of the ballot. There will not be an R or a D next to any of our names, and you will vote for all 5. That is the thing. There will be, everyone in Round Rock ISD will have 5 people to vote for Round Rock ISD School Board. And it is imperative that you go to the bottom of the ballot and vote for all 5 places.
Thank you.